From a sentimental standpoint, you can't ask for a better retirement announcement than what we saw at UFC 254 from Khabib Nurmagomedov. He had long spoken about his intention to retire at age 32.
В 42 года вы видите себя в октагоне так или иначе, может быть, не бойцом, тренером, если хотите, и так далее?
Это категорически, так скажем, исключается. Я не хотел бы, чтобы я конкурировал на высоком уровне 42 года. Чтобы меня в старости били молодые, так скажем, голодные львы, которые более голодные, чем я. Так что это разные вещи, вроде бы одна, так скажем, направление. Вроде бы ты оставляешь спорт, спорт уходит, или спорт оставляет, тоже ты уходишь от нее, да, такое расстояние получается. Если ты ее вовремя не оставишь, то спорт тебя спокойно оставит, потому что будут чемпионы, будут более молодые, более голодные, более мотивированные.
And since he acquired the UFC lightweight belt in 2018, his father often alluded to wanting Khabib to fight Conor McGregor, Tony Ferguson, George St. Pierre, and the welterweight champion before retiring at 30-0. From a legacy standpoint, that would have been unparalleled. However, of those names, he only ended up fighting McGregor, after which he notched 2 title defenses against Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje. These are high-level opponents and quality wins for Khabib without a doubt, but they didn't have the big-name appeal that I think most of us were hoping for. As a fan, I certainly held on selfishly to the hope that a fight against Ferguson or GSP is still possible, but it looks like that ship has sailed.
Alhamdulillah, если у вас есть родители, будьте рядом с ними. У меня один остался родитель, это моя мама.
He gave a promise to his mother, and as much as we're all aware of the close relationship Khabib had with his late father,
you guys can not understand how I love my father. Let's talk about my father. I like this.
His mother was actually his favorite.
Главное, чтобы это отец не увидел, но мама, она на первом месте.
Now with his father gone and with his level of deference toward his only living parent, I just don't see him coming back after making such a promise. So we've likely seen him fight for the last time ever, and that's quite sad. But his performance against Gaethje was really the perfect way to go out. We need to give credit where it's due. Gaethje did better than any of Khabib's previous opponents. After quite a long feeling out period in the first round, the two eventually engaged. Gaethje landed lots of leg kicks, as was to be expected from the highlight. And you know, very rarely does Khabib get hit cleanly, but Gaethje got him quite a few times in this first round, and not just leg kicks. But Khabib did good work as well, including this flying knee to the body, and he had lots of success with his jab. That jab is really always there for Khabib. Daniel Cormier mentioned this during the broadcast. You can't keep a high guard all the time if you want to defend Khabib's takedowns. This opens up a lot of opportunities for Khabib to work with his hands, and he showed that in this fight. Gaethje is trying to stay in the center of the octagon because, as we all know, Khabib loves to get his opponents back to the fence. But Khabib manages to take Gaethje down in the final minute of the round with this beautiful double leg. He immediately ties up Gaethje's legs and quickly advances his position, and before you know it, he's in full mount. He then isolates Gaethje's arm and attempts an armbar. Gaethje is aware that there's not much time left, so he just holds on until the end of the round. But already Khabib showed how quickly he can get the finish after taking Gaethje down. This was a very close round before that takedown, but with Khabib taking Justin down, mounting him, and then attempting a sub all in under a minute, there should be no doubt as to who won it.
Once Khabib took him down, mounted him, and went for the armbar, and there's no way anybody can argue that Justin won that round. He lost that round hands down. If I showed that round to 100 judges, 99 judges are going to say Khabib won that round, okay?
It's completely inexplicable why 2 judges would score this round for Gaethje. Gaethje lands some nice shots in the second round too, including this leg kick that threw the champion off balance. But this right here, this is what makes Khabib so good. Nothing is safe against this guy. Gaethje throws a leg kick, Khabib just grabs onto his leg and attempts a double leg. Gaethje sprawls and was mindful to sprawl away from the fence, but Khabib immediately takes his back, gets the body triangle, and ends up mounting Gaethje. This is all in a matter of seconds. While he's in mount, he has Gaethje in what looks like an arm triangle, then transitions to a triangle armbar and then back to a triangle. Gaethje taps, but referee Jason Herzog inexplicably doesn't see it. It takes a good 5 seconds before Herzog realizes that Gaethje is tapping and calls the fight. Poor Gaethje had to take a short nap just because Herzog didn't see what all of us saw rather easily. Only 24 seconds separated Khabib's double leg attempt and Gaethje tapping. That's how quickly he was able to get the finish. This was a grappling clinic that we had grown accustomed to through the years. We often forget that Khabib can do more than just smash his opponents. We saw his submission skills on full display against Gaethje. He wasted absolutely no time at all. At first, when I saw Khabib fishing for early subs, I thought that perhaps he was doing this to avoid a protracted stand-up war with Gaethje, who showed himself to be more than competent and had quite a bit of success on the feet. Or perhaps his toe, which was later revealed to have been broken during his camp, was bothering him, and that's why he wanted to end the fight quickly. But my friend made an interesting observation that I hadn't even considered. Abdul Manap was a big appreciator of judo, seeing it as a more gentlemanly sport than MMA or even wrestling.
No, brother. If you talk about this with my father, father go crazy. My father loved judo, but no.
Khabib has also mentioned in interviews that his mother doesn't like to see him beat up on his opponents. She too prefers that he just get a quick tap. So could his early fishing for subs have been a way of trying to follow his father's legacy, or to please his mother? We can't really know for sure, but he certainly is a devoted son and his parents are very important to him. After securing the victory, he fell to his knees and was overcome with tears. Ariel Helwani compared it to Michael Jordan crying on the locker room floor after winning the NBA title after his own father's passing. And it's a very apt comparison, because in MMA, Khabib is on that level. He's on the level of a Jordan or a Ronaldo. For a swan song, it was really the perfect performance, the perfect celebration, and the perfect post-fight speech. And it certainly resonated with many people who have lost a parent. Of course, because we're all insufferable bores, we proceeded to take to the internet to argue about whether Khabib is the GOAT, whether he belongs in the GOAT conversation, and so on. All I will say is this: Khabib was a fighter who every single one of his opponents knew exactly what he wanted to do, but they still couldn't stop him. That's the reason why he belongs in this discussion. Trevor Whitman is a brilliant MMA mind, and Justin Gaethje is a remarkable talent and a very coachable fighter. Whitman wrote up what I trust was a perfectly legitimate game plan against Khabib because he knew exactly what Khabib wanted to do. But you still can't stop him. That's what made him great. Luke Thomas mentioned something that is very relevant. Khabib was never knocked down or cut in his entire MMA career. While the likes of Fedor, John Jones, GSP, and Anderson Silva had longer title reigns, they can't say this. Khabib can. That's what makes Khabib's career so special. Nitpicking about his competition level makes no sense. Dos Anjos, Michael Johnson, Barbosa, McGregor, Poirier, Gaethje. Is this weak competition? And he beat them all in dominant fashion. McGregor. He was the first to submit Gaethje. And if we're going to get caught up in title defenses, well, he just tied the record for most UFC lightweight title defenses. So while his title reign wasn't the longest overall, it's certainly comparable to that of other great fighters in this storied weight division. But you know what? It doesn't matter. I think most observers understand that this was a truly great career and a truly unique career. Those of us who appreciate it are quite sad to see it come to an end. Khabib changed our very idea of what a well-rounded fighter is. He changed our idea of what good, solid striking defense looks like. We will likely never see another Khabib, but he's done with fighting and that makes me sad.